12 tunnels running under the US-Mexico border. Total length, 14 miles. Engineered passages, ventilation systems, electric lighting, rail tracks, elevators, communication lines. This wasn't amateur digging. This was infrastructure. $20 million invested. 3 years of construction. Designed to move $3 billion in drugs annually. The Sinaloa Cartel had built an underground highway, bypassing border security, avoiding detection, moving tons of narcotics directly into American cities. They thought depth protected them, that soil and rock made them invisible. They were wrong. FBI had been tracking the construction for 18 months, using ground-penetrating radar, seismic sensors, intelligence from informants. Every tunnel was mapped, every entrance identified. The operation was called Underground Railroad, and when federal power targets tunnel networks, Earth provides no sanctuary. Welcome to the largest border tunnel destruction in history. When cartels dig under America, federal agents bury their operations completely. The tunnel network began in 2019. Cartel engineers studied border geography, identified optimal locations, areas with suitable soil, existing structures on both sides, traffic patterns allowing material delivery, construction sites that wouldn't attract attention, professional planning, military-level engineering, massive investment. The main tunnel started in Tijuana warehouse, descended 80 feet, ran 3/4 of a mile, emerged in San Diego warehouse, exit concealed under hydraulic floor, ventilation disguised as HVAC equipment. The sophistication was remarkable. This wasn't hole in ground. This was engineered passage. But one tunnel wasn't enough. Cartels needed redundancy, backup routes, increased capacity. They built 11 more tunnels, different locations along border, all connected to distribution network, all moving product constantly. The underground system rivaled subway networks. Special Agent David Chen coordinated the investigation. Border Tunnel Task Force, 23 years hunting cartel infrastructure. He'd found dozens of tunnels over his career, but network of 12? That was unprecedented. This is game changer, Chen told his team. They're not digging tunnels anymore. They're building underground transportation system. This requires response matching the scale. 12 engineered tunnels, $3 billion in drugs yearly. Comment if you think tunnel builders deserve life sentences. Detection was challenging. Traditional methods found shallow tunnels, visual inspection, ground disturbances. These tunnels were deep, 80 to 120 feet underground, below detection range of casual observation. Cartel had learned from past discoveries, built deeper, better hidden, more sophisticated. The breakthrough came from technology. Border Patrol deployed ground-penetrating radar, advanced systems capable of detecting voids at extreme depth. Seismic sensors measured vibrations. Construction activity underground created signatures. Patterns emerged. 12 distinct tunnel systems identified. Intelligence from Mexican authorities confirmed. Informants reported massive construction project, multiple warehouses, heavy equipment deliveries, hundreds of workers, enormous spending. Something big was happening. Combined with radar data, the picture became clear. Sinaloa Cartel was building tunnel network. FBI coordinated with Mexican government, Marina Armada de Mexico, federal police, intelligence services. The tunnels crossed international border, required cooperation from both countries. Mexico wanted cartel infrastructure destroyed. US wanted drug flow stopped. Perfect alignment of interests. Surveillance began on both sides. Warehouses monitored, workers identified, material deliveries tracked, vehicles followed. The cartel's operation required extensive surface support. Disguising underground network required legitimate businesses, shell companies owning properties, fake construction permits, bribed officials. The surface indicators led to underground reality. One tunnel entrance was in legitimate warehouse, import-export business. Shipping containers moved daily, perfect cover for drug trafficking. The underground entrance was beneath container storage area, hydraulic platform concealing shaft. Workers could access tunnel while appearing to handle legitimate cargo. Another entrance was in abandoned building, purchased through shell company, renovated inside while keeping exterior decrepit. Nobody suspected. The tunnel entrance was under basement floor, elevator system descending 8 stories underground. The cartel had invested millions in single access point. Hit-like if you believe underground drug tunnels should be classified as infrastructure terrorism. The tunnels themselves were engineering marvels, concrete reinforcement, steel supports, ventilation bringing fresh air from surface, electric lighting powered by generators, rail systems for moving product, communication lines connecting both ends. Some tunnels had pumping systems removing groundwater. The sophistication rivaled professional mining operations. Intelligence estimated $3 billion worth of drugs moved through network annually. Cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, fentanyl, tons moving weekly. The tunnels operated around the clock, workers in shifts, product flowing constantly, security at both ends. The operation was industrial scale. But the cartel made one critical mistake: concentration. 12 tunnels meant 12 points of failure. If all were discovered simultaneously, entire network collapsed. Single enforcement action could destroy years of investment. That's exactly what FBI planned. Coordination between US and Mexican authorities intensified, planning simultaneous operations on both sides of border. All 12 tunnels would be raided at once. Cartel would have no warning, no time to shift operations, no chance to protect investment. Complete destruction in single strike. The operation required massive resources: FBI, Border Patrol, DEA, ICE, Mexican Marines, Federal Police. Over 600 personnel involved, tactical teams for raids, engineers for tunnel assessment, evidence collection units, safety specialists. This was largest border operation in history. Planning took 4 months. Every tunnel mapped precisely, entry points identified, interior layouts studied through sensors and informants, guard positions noted, operating schedules documented, nothing left to chance. The raids had to be perfect, simultaneous, overwhelming, successful. Safety was priority. Tunnels could collapse, workers could be trapped, evidence could be destroyed, chemical hazards existed. The operations required careful execution. Speed was important, but safety couldn't be compromised. Too much coordination or exactly right for underground network. Comment T or R. March 15th, execute date. Weather was clear. All teams confirmed ready. Mexican military prepared on their side. FBI coordinated from command center. This was moment 18 months of investigation built toward. 4 a.m. Simultaneous breach. 12 locations in US, 12 in Mexico, 24 coordinated raids across international border. Federal agents, search warrant. San Diego warehouse. Tactical teams smashed through doors. FBI, nobody move. Workers loading cocaine into rail cars scattered. Some tried fleeing into tunnel. Agents followed, arrested them underground. Others surrendered immediately. Within minutes, the tunnel entrance was secured. Down below, the tunnel stretched into darkness. lights illuminating engineered passage, concrete walls, steel supports, rail tracks disappearing into distance. This was infrastructure, not crude tunnel, professional construction. In Tijuana, Mexican Marines hit the opposite entrance simultaneously, catching workers off guard, securing Mexican side. The tunnel was sealed from both ends. Nobody could escape. Everything would be seized. This pattern repeated across all 12 locations. Coordinated strikes, perfect timing, every tunnel raided simultaneously. Workers arrested, product seized, equipment documented. The network was compromised completely. The drug seizures were staggering. First tunnel, 2 tons of cocaine. Second tunnel, 3 tons of methamphetamine. Third tunnel, 1 ton of heroin. The numbers accumulated. Across 12 tunnels, total seizure exceeded 20 tons of narcotics. Street value, $3.2 billion. Largest single border seizure in DEA history. Largest tunnel drug seizure ever. A, 1BB, 2BC, 3B+. But drugs weren't only seizure. The infrastructure was prize. Engineers examined the tunnels, documented construction, measured dimensions, photographed supports. This intelligence would help detect future tunnels. Understanding cartel engineering improved U.S. capabilities. The tunnels would be destroyed. But first, evidence collection. Every inch documented, fingerprints collected, DNA samples taken, communication equipment seized, financial records found, everything needed for prosecution. Workers arrested provided intelligence. Interrogations revealed organizational structure. Who designed the tunnels? Who funded construction? Who supervised operations? Names of cartel leadership. The underground network led to above-ground arrests. Over 2 weeks, 137 arrests occurred. Tunnel workers, warehouse operators, security personnel, logistics coordinators, cartel members at every level. The support network for 12 tunnels was extensive. Everyone was prosecuted. Financial investigation traced the money. $20 million invested in construction, shell companies purchasing properties, equipment bought through fronts, worker payments disguised, money laundering throughout. IRS criminal investigation built parallel cases, tax evasion, money laundering, asset forfeiture. The financial crimes added decades to sentences. The tunnel destruction began in April. Explosives placed strategically, controlled demolition. Each tunnel collapsed section by section. Concrete crumbled, steel twisted, rails buried, ventilation crushed. The underground highway was reduced to rubble. $20 million erased in explosions. Mexican side was destroyed simultaneously. Both countries ensured tunnels were unusable. Earth filled the voids. Concrete poured over collapse sites. Surface structures demolished. The warehouses where entrances existed were razed. Nothing remained except memory of what had been. If you believe tunnel engineers should face same charges as drug traffickers, type SWAT power. Federal prosecutors charge defendants in multiple districts: conspiracy to distribute drugs, money laundering, illegal border crossing, racketeering. The charges were extensive. Evidence was overwhelming. 12 tunnels, 20 tons of drugs, hundreds of workers, financial records. Nobody was escaping prosecution. The engineers faced enhanced charges. They designed infrastructure enabling billions in drug trafficking. Their technical expertise made cartel operations possible. Prosecutors argued engineers were as guilty as smugglers. They'd built the weapon. Cartel just used it. Trials began 9 months later. Evidence presented was comprehensive. Tunnel videos, drug seizures, financial records, worker testimony. Engineering documents. Defendants had no defense. The tunnels existed. Drugs were seized. Their involvement was documented. Guilty verdicts were certain. Lead engineer received 40 years. His designs enabled $3 billion in annual trafficking. Other engineers got 20 to 30 years. Workers received 10 to 20 years. Cartel leadership identified through investigation received life sentences. Everyone involved paid severely. The 20 tons of seized drugs were destroyed, burned in incinerators. $3.2 billion in street value eliminated. Enough poison to supply millions of users. Removed from circulation permanently. The seizure saved countless lives. Intelligence from tunnel investigation led to other operations. Cartel communication networks, financial systems, distribution routes. The tunnel network had been one piece of larger organization. FBI used evidence to dismantle connected operations. Dozens of additional arrests. Multiple tons more drugs seized. Mexico celebrated cooperation success. Joint operation destroyed major cartel infrastructure. Demonstrated bilateral commitment to fighting trafficking. President praised Mexican Marines and federal police. Partnership with U.S. strengthened. Future cooperation guaranteed. Technology improvements followed. Better ground-penetrating radar deployed. More seismic sensors installed. Satellite imaging enhanced. Detection capabilities increased. Future tunnel construction would be identified earlier. Stopped before completion. Prevention better than destruction. Should border tunnel construction be federal death penalty offense? Comment yes or no. The Sinaloa Cartel never recovered. 12 tunnels represented years of planning. $20 million invested. Critical infrastructure for operations. All destroyed in single night. Leadership arrested. Workers imprisoned. Engineers prosecuted. Financial networks disrupted. The organization was crippled. Other cartels noticed. Tunnel construction was risky. Ground-penetrating radar detected them. International cooperation destroyed them. Investment was lost completely. Workers were arrested. Engineers faced decades in prison. The cost exceeded benefits. Tunnel construction dropped 70% following year. Border security improved. Lessons from 12 tunnel network applied to prevention. High-risk areas identified. Additional surveillance deployed. Construction indicators monitored. Intelligence sharing enhanced. Future networks would be detected before becoming operational. The workers imprisoned tell other inmates their stories. Thought tunnels were undetectable. 80 feet underground. Engineered passages. Sophisticated systems. All found. All raided simultaneously. All destroyed. Federal technology was superior to cartel innovation. Engineers regret their involvement. Technical expertise that could have built legitimate infrastructure instead served drug cartels. Now decades in federal prison. Skills wasted. Lives destroyed. 40 years contemplating how professional knowledge became crime. Special Agent Chen retired after Operation Underground Railroad. 25 years hunting cartel infrastructure. Hundreds of tunnels found. But 12 tunnel network was career highlight. Largest destruction. Most arrests. Biggest drug seizure. Perfect coordination. Absolute success. The border where tunnels existed is now heavily monitored. Sensors everywhere. Regular patrols. Geological surveys conducted routinely. New construction is detected immediately. The ground that once hid 14 miles of tunnels now reveals everything. Technology 1. Operation Underground Railroad proved that underground smuggling has limits. Depth doesn't prevent detection. Engineering doesn't ensure success. Investment doesn't guarantee return. When federal agencies coordinate internationally, cartel infrastructure gets destroyed completely. This is what happens when cartels dig under borders. This is what FBI and Border Patrol achieve through technology and cooperation. This is why tunnels don't work anymore. You can invest $20 million. You can engineer sophisticated passages. You can dig 80 feet deep. You can build 12 separate tunnels. You can move billions in drugs. None of it prevents detection. FBI has ground-penetrating radar, has seismic sensors, has international cooperation, will find every tunnel, will coordinate simultaneous raids, will destroy everything, will arrest everyone, will prosecute successfully. The cartel learned this the hard way. 12 tunnels built, 3 years construction, 20 million invested, 3 billion annual capacity. One night, federal raids, everything destroyed, everyone arrested, complete loss, perfect federal victory. This is SWAT power, where underground networks get exposed, where tunnel systems get demolished, where international cooperation destroys cartel infrastructure, where federal power proves Earth provides no sanctuary from justice. The answer to the quiz? C. 3 billion plus. 20 tons seized with street value exceeding $3.2 billion. Largest single border tunnel operation seizure in history. Every tunnel raided simultaneously. Every ounce confiscated. Should all border tunnel workers face mandatory minimums? Do you support expanded ground-penetrating radar deployment? Which operation aspect impressed you most? Comment below. Like if you support border security. Subscribe to SWAT Power, where federal agents find underground networks, coordinate international raids, and destroy billion-dollar cartel infrastructure. Because depth doesn't hide tunnels, technology finds them, and federal power destroys them. SWAT Power. 12 tunnels destroyed, network demolished, cartel crippled, every single time.